You know, whenever we talk about AI, it's so easy to get lost in these wild visions of the future, right? Both the amazing and the, well, terrifying. But here's the thing. To really get a grip on where we're headed, we actually need to look back, way, way back. Because our relationship with AI, it's not a new story. It's just the latest supercharged chapter in a very, very old one. So let's kick things off by poking a hole in a really common idea about us and the modern world. I'm sure you've heard this before, in one way or another. This idea that our brains are basically ancient software, that we evolved for a hunter-gatherer world, and now we're just completely out of sync with our crazy, fast-paced digital society. And it kind of makes sense, right? It's a neat explanation for why we feel so anxious or get so distracted by our phones. I mean, what if the thing that truly defines us isn't some fixed ancient programming that's now out of date? What if it's our incredible, non-stop ability to adapt? What if we're not struggling against technology at all, but we're actually built from the ground up to evolve with it? This is where our whole explainer really gets going. So, to really get to the bottom of this mismatched brain idea, we've got to travel back to the very beginning of what it means to be human. And the evidence from our deep past, it doesn't tell a story of a static brain. It shows a mind that has always been in this dynamic dance with its own creations. Okay, so look at this timeline. It tells a pretty wild story about us and our tech. The very first stone tools showed up 3.3 million years ago. That's millions of years before our own species, Homo sapiens, even existed. This isn't some recent fling we're having with technology. Our evolution, even the actual physical wiring of our brains, has been shaped by the tools we use for a mind-boggling amount of time. And here's the crucial takeaway. Our survival has always been so tied up with our tools that we literally can't exist without them. This is what makes us obligatory tool users. It's not a choice, it's just who we are. Technology isn't just something we use, it's practically baked into our DNA. And that leads us to this really cool, kind of mind-bending concept from cognitive science called extended cognition. The basic idea is that your thinking, your mind, doesn't just happen inside your brain. Nope, it actually flows out into the world, and it incorporates the tools you use. Whether that's a simple pen and paper, your smartphone, or an ancient stone axe. Think about it like this. For a person who is blind, that cane isn't just a piece of wood they're holding. Through constant use, the tip of that cane becomes a literal extension of their sense of touch. They're not just feeling a vibration in their hand, they are perceiving the curb, the crack in the sidewalk, at the tip of the stick. The tool has become part of their mind. And we've always done this. So this process creates this incredibly powerful feedback loop that's been driving our evolution for ages. Our minds create tools and build societies, and then those very tools and societies turn around and reshape how our minds work. Now, what happens when you take that ancient feedback loop and plug it into AI? So if this feedback loop has been around forever, what's different now? The answer is just two words: speed and scale. AI hasn't invented some new process, it's just taken the old one and put it on hyperdrive. We're now in this constant rapid-fire co-evolution between us and the machine. And here's how it works. Every single day, 1, an AI suggests something to you. A video, a driving route, a product. 2, you act on it. You watch, you drive, you buy. 3, your action becomes a data point that gets fed right back into the system. And 4, the AI learns from your choice and it fine-tunes the next suggestion it gives you. It's this non-stop cycle of adaptation happening billions of a second all over the world. And hey, this isn't some abstract sci-fi concept. You are in this loop all the time. Every time your GPS tells you to take a different street to avoid traffic, and you do it, you're in the loop. Every time you scroll through a social media feed that's been perfectly tailored to keep you scrolling, you're in the loop. Our choices and the AI suggestions are constantly shaping each other. But why is this loop so much more intense? Well, it's because the two minds involved are from completely different worlds. Our human intelligence is the product of millions of years of slow, messy biological evolution. It's tied to our bodies, it's emotional, and it's biologically limited. AI cognition, on the other hand, is developing at an insane speed. It learns from more data than any human ever could, and it can share information instantly. We're partnering with a type of intelligence that is totally new to this planet. This crazy fast coevolution isn't just changing what we do, it's starting to change who we are.
It's pushing us into this new era of what some people are calling augmented cognition, and in the process, it's opened up a brand new and pretty intense political battlefield. So, what is augmented cognition? It's what happens when our minds and AI team up. It's not just about using AI as a tool, it's about a partnership that creates totally new abilities that neither of us could have on our own. Think about a surgeon using an AI-guided robot to perform an operation with superhuman precision. That's something neither the human nor the machine could ever do alone. And if you take that idea to its logical conclusion, you arrive at transhumanism. This is a movement that's all about using technology to basically upgrade ourselves, to enhance our brains, our bodies, our psychology, and even to overcome fundamental biological limits like aging and disease. What used to be a niche sci-fi idea is now right at the center of a global political debate. And this has created a really fascinating political divide. On one side, you've got the technocratic optimists, people like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, who see all this as the path to renewing our civilization. But on the other side, you've got traditionalist thinkers like Steve Bannon or Alexander Dugin, who see these exact same technologies as a giant threat to faith, to culture, and to the very meaning of being human. So where does all this leave us? Well, we're standing at a massive crossroads, facing questions and responsibilities that no generation before us has ever even had to think about. The actual process of evolution itself is changing, and these big political questions are becoming deeply personal. I mean, as we develop tech that could treat aging like a curable disease, who gets access? Are we about to create a brand new kind of inequality? A world split between the mortals and the post-mortals? And then there's this. As our minds start extending even deeper into technology with things like brain-computer interfaces, who's in charge of that connection? Who owns the data that comes from your own thoughts? These aren't just technical problems anymore. They are fundamental questions about privacy, freedom, and human rights. And really, this is what it all boils down to. For all of human history, we've been shaped by the slow, blind process of natural selection. Now, for the very first time, we're gaining the power to consciously select our own future. We are, in a very real sense, beginning to design our own descendants. So that means the biggest question we have to ask ourselves is changing. It's not a backwards-looking question about what it has meant to be human. It's a forward-looking, creative, and frankly monumental question. As we take the steering wheel of our own evolution, who and what do we choose to become?